Hello, yeah, so today what we're going to be looking at is how to record on Logic Pro using audio. We're just going to be using the built-in audio input, so inputs 1 and 2. First thing you want to do is just load up Logic Pro and go File, New Project, or just New if it doesn't load automatically. It's going to pop up with this window here that says, and you want to select audio at the top. And then on the input, where the mouse is now, select input 1. Or 1 and 2. If you select input 1, that's a mono track. Input 1 and 2 will be a stereo track. If you then click the ascending button there, that means that when you create them, if we put 2 tracks in, it'll be input 1 and then input 2 on the track down, and then create. So what we can see, we've got 2 tracks here. So we've done create number of tracks 2. And they're both receiving input. They've got the red record light button flashing. That's input 1 on the first track. On the second track we can see it's input 2. So input 1, and then the output there is stereo out as well. If it's not stereo out, you won't be able to hear it, but we'll get onto routing and stuff later. This here is the internal gain. So if you have a microphone that's USB or hasn't got a gain knob on it, or like the internal microphone of a computer, you need to use this as your gain. So make sure that's correct as well before you start recording. But the audio interfaces and things will have this on the interface. When we click record, we can hear the metronome clicking, and that's when we want to start to record our audio. It'll be recording from 2 separate microphones, just straight into Logic. There was quite a bit of clipping in that recording, but we're not going to worry about it whatsoever, just because this is an example. So there we've got input 1 and 2, so that might be, I don't know, you're miking up a snare drum and also a kick drum. Or using 2 microphones just to say record a single guitar. What we're going to look at now is something called takes. So you've done a whole recording, you're happy with most of it, but there's one little bit that you don't want to do. Put the cursor where you want to replace and hit record. It'll start recording where the cursor was. When you press stop, it'll stop. And what we can see here, we've got both recordings next to each other. So we want to spread out the display just so we can see it a bit more kind of zoomed in. And then we can choose bits of each recording to keep. So perhaps that one from the second take, and also that bit. And what that gives us the best of each takes, and that's a very, very good tool to use. Very, very useful indeed. Recording multiple takes and selecting different bits from each of them. And you can minimise the tracks just to make it a bit less messy. And you can do that as many times as you like. You can have 20 takes, say. What we're going to look at now, obviously it's input 1 and input 2 at the moment. If we're to click this button here, the track now goes into a stereo track, so inputs 1 and 2 on the same track. This can be a stereo microphone, or again, just a pair of microphones that you don't want to have 2 individual tracks for. We're going to delete the other track now, just because we don't need it, because we've already got the first track, which is now stereo, meaning both channels on that one individual track. We record it again, we can see both the level meters going up and down, meaning they're recording from both channels. Switch back to stereo, we can see there's 1 level meter, or the LEDs are just 1 strip, meaning that's gone back into mono.